Hello, everybody. Wolfang here. Today is Friday, March the 15th. I remembered. I couldn't remember at lunchtime. Anyway, it wasn't a bad day. I think we almost hit 60. I just know it was raining at lunchtime when I would have my lunch break. But it's not a bad day. That damn overcast again. But anyway, it's not as cold here as it is in Antarctica, though. And the Navy SEALs went there to do some training. So this article caught my eye. So this is what I'm going to share. If I hit the right buttons, there we go. It says Navy SEALs on snowmobiles raced across the frozen Arctic to link up with an attack sub that broke the ice during a special ops first. So this is a first. Love those pictures. I'm glad I'm not there though. It says SEALs and Norwegian Naval Special Operation Commandos retrieve and airdropped a package from a C-130 Hercules assigned to the 109th Airlift Wing, part of the New York Air National Guard. That's cool. U.S. Navy SEALs and Allied commandos successfully executed a first of its kind Arctic Circle drill recently. Over 400 Special Operation Forces delivered a package to the submarine USS Hampton. The drill tested combat readiness amid increasing concern about the potential for conflict in the Arctic. That would be one hell of a place to fight a war. I'll tell you, I think I'd rather do the jungle than the Arctic. Screw that. Deep into the Arctic Circle, U.S. Navy SEALs and Allied commandos recently dashed across the frozen ground on snowmobiles to link up with a surfaced submarine that had busted through the ice in a historic training exercise that put the sub-zero skills of the Special Operations Forces to the test. Last week, over 400 Special Operation Forces, including SEALs and U.S. Army Green Beret and 160 SOAR crews, as well as foreign partners, participated in drills as part of a broader Arctic Edge 24 training event. During one first of its kind training event, Special Operations MH-47G Chinook helicopters dispatched SEALs and other SOF Special Operation Forces personnel, SOF personnel, and snowmobiles onto the Arctic terrain to retrieve and deliver a package dropped from a C-130 to the Navy attack submarine USS Hampton that had breached the icy surface only moments earlier. This was the first time that SOF personnel, SOF aircraft, and snowmobiles have ever worked together to execute an operation involving a submarine that had surfaced through the thick ice so deep in the Arctic Circle. Ooh. Naval Special Warfare unique ability to conduct complex operations in the water column and in maritime domains such as the Arctic discourages aggression for potential adversaries. Naval Special Warfare Group 2 Commodore Captain Bill Gallagher said in a release on the training. And there you can see they got some tents set up. I still say no thank you. Special operation forces from other countries such as Norway, Canada, Denmark, and the United Kingdom also participated in the exercise, which stretched from Alaska across Canada and into Greenland to help integrate new strategies for optimal sub-zero Arctic combat. I still say that's nuts. The training was carried out as a way to prepare for adversarial threats. Previously, the U.S. had less of a focus on the Arctic, but with Russia and China taking up an increased presence in the region, the U.S. now has more interest in pursuing Arctic training. There's more pressure on the U.S. military to invest in crucial resources like icebreakers, strong ships that easily cut through ice to create pathways. The U.S. fleet is vastly disproportionate to Russia's fleet, but readiness is about more than icebreakers. Yeah, I wonder how many icebreakers we do actually have. I think we've only got a few. While this Arctic Circle drill amid to familiarize elite special operation forces with complex operations on Arctic terrain. Other elements of the training push them to adapt to ever changing terrain to develop skills necessary for combat in this difficult environment. U.S. and Allied military personnel training in the Arctic must work through temperatures below negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. They have to master cold weather survival skills that are essential to avoid freezing to death. Yeah, if you can go outside and pee in the air and it freezes, you know it's cold. Terrain and ground conditions can be significant challenges for ground troops and those dealing with logistics in the Arctic. Troops focused on the combat element may be tasked with clearing snow for artillery or other heavy equipment, while personnel dealing with approaching aircraft may need to clear ice in order for helicopters to land. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to follow the Business Insider on Microsoft Start. Anyway, there was a plug for Microsoft. So, that's interesting. That's all I'm saying. Um, I think most of us know Russia has been screwing around with the Arctic for a while. I mean, it's nothing new for them, and we just kind of, I guess, poo pooed it off. It's like, oh, but I will say this: I went in to the Navy in '89. I was in with the Seabees, and on our base, we had a detachment that went to the Arctic, and it was called Operation Deep Freeze. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I guarantee you it's been taken off the list. There's no more Operation Deep Freeze. So, but anyway, and the other thing, going to the Arctic, okay, this stuff I do know for a fact. You have to take not just a physical but mental, especially with the Operation Deep Freeze people that I heard about being stuck out there for, I guess, 3 months, 5 6 months. Our deployments were 6 months. But could you imagine being out in the Arctic, and a certain part of the Arctic where there's no sunshine? So you got no sunshine for, what is it, 2 months or 3 months? I think it lasts. You got to be right in a freaking noodle. So, but yeah, there's a lot of planning and testing and shit that goes on. Let's see. Are you capable? Are you capable? And even if you are, and you get out there and you start doing the training, you don't you don't know. Depends on the situation. All of a sudden, you just have a freaking breakdown. So, but yeah, I give those special forces, Navy SEALs, all those guys. I give them thumbs up, man. They're not stupid people at all. So, but this is Wolfang on a Friday evening. It's 5:20 here. It's 5:20 somewhere. So, but anyway, I'm babbling now. Everybody have a blessed Friday evening and stay safe. And I will chat with you all later. Bye.